In hushed tones, adventurers and collectors of urban legends tell the tale of the Bagman. The Bagman is a tragic tale of an adventurer who sought to escape certain doom by abandoning his party in the middle of a fight and hiding inside of the iconic Bag of Holding. Many adventurers with such an item as the Bag of Holding have always considered creative and extraneous solutions with the bag, maybe by escaping through the bag or hiding in it. But this poor adventurer, on their last legs and desperate, crawled into the extra-dimensional space. Though he immediately panicked and tried to leave, he became lost amid a constantly increasing number of extra-dimensional storage spaces, and over time, the strange forces of this magical in-between place transformed the adventurer into a monstrous creature. Now, every night, the Bagman slips out from a random Bag of Holding, and if he does not recognize his home, he drags the nearest adventurer back into the bag with him and leaves behind some trinket from his hidden kingdom of lost junk. Some say that if you speak too loudly over an open Bag of Holding, or whisper, "Follow my voice," into a magical storage space 3 times, the Bagman will come for you. The Bag of Holding is one of the most important and useful items. It is an iconic item to the D&D setting. It is almost a necessity for higher level parties to acquire one of these. Is the Bag of Holding worth the risk though? You can be in the safest dungeon, a locked castle surrounded by guards, but when you go to bed and you keep your possessions nearby with your Bag of Holding, the Bagman will come for you. The Bagman is a bit of a legend, but it is very real. Its stat block is not completely known, and it is not known that the Bagman is just one creature, or many. It is a tale among many adventurers that whenever you are taken by the Bagman, there's a chance you become a Bagman yourself. Any creature lost within this extra-dimensional space, shifting and moving, never getting back to the original bag in which you crawled inside to escape, this may turn anyone into a shambling, grotesque husk of their former selves. Scared, confused, and angry, the Bagman takes on the stats of a troll, so it does have multiple attacks and a very high strength by which to grapple you and drag you back into the bag. It also has alien mind, and if you try to read thoughts, there's a good chance you'll be stunned. By taking any look into this mind, the horror and complexity would haunt anyone who peered inside. The Bagman can also move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing, meaning it can get between very small spaces, and there are not many areas that keep you out or keep the Bagman in. Even if you are aware of this legend and you keep your Bag of Holding far from you as you sleep each night, the Bagman still will seek you out, find the owner of the bag, and drag you back in. The Bagman adds an interesting level of complexion from the DM's perspective. Almost every group that knows of the Bag of Holding within D&D most likely ask for the bag, as carrying capacities in D&D with the amount of items that they collect, it makes the bag an almost necessity. The Bagman is a very interesting way of balancing this. If your players end up asking and whining and demanding a Bag of Holding existent in their world, and you give it to them, there is a chance the Bagman comes from it. As the DM, I would reflect this by rolling a 1d100 every night, having a number of the Bagman. And if the D100 ever hits its mark, the Bagman emerges from the bag. And if your party is not prepared, they may only find a trinket in the place that their friend once stood. There are also rumors that the Bagman is not just a monster, but a dark lord of his own hidden domain, and the domain of which you place your items every night into the Bag of Holding is actually an otherworldly plane ruled by the Bagman, an interconnected network of extra-dimensional spaces used by adventurers across the land, all susceptible to the Bagman. So you may believe this just to be a legend in the world of Dungeons & Dragons, but if you are ever unable to recover an item from your bag that has gone missing, you hear whispers from your bag or your bag has moved during the night in a place that you did not leave it, consider giving up the bag of holding. Because if you notice any of these signs, the Bagman is real, and he is very close. And if he decides to pay you a visit, by the time you are actually awake and reacting to the situation, you'll already be halfway down the bag.